Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, it is 3:40 something in the morning, and I was just getting up. Now I'm trying to play Body and Soul because this is my girl Anita. And if y'all don't know Body and Soul, then y'all need to go to YouTube, type in Anita Baker Body and Soul, and y'all will have something that will set the mood for the entire day. Thank you, Anita Baker, everybody. Now I can't play this song because Anita and me, we will cry all night long. All right, bye-bye, Anita. That's my girl, y'all. Now let's get over here to a blank screen. Blankety blank. Ladies and gentlemen, the incident at the border was being reported wrong. They talked about a suicide car bombing. That was the news flash. That's why I say you got to be very careful when you listen to the news. Very careful when you listen to the news. Only to find out it wasn't a suicide bombing. If you look at it, it appears that it could have been, pay attention, one of those throttle mistakes where the car sped up on its own and they had no control and he did everything to avoid everything and couldn't. Now that's just a guess. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Neither do they. You see, that explosion, everybody, you hear police officers say vehicles don't explode like that. Pay attention. Vehicles don't explode like that because of a gas tank explosion. Well, apparently they're wrong because that was a pretty big explosion. So now I got to wait for them to do their investigation, which will take about 4 months. Why? Because they're going to take their time revealing the information to people. Going to make sure we're past all of this Christmas and everything. The only problem is since they claimed it was a suicide bombing, remember I said yesterday that that would have been the first of its kind. Have they planted some thought in somebody's mind? I don't know. Could I be planting a thought in somebody's mind? Not my intention. Like I said, that's the problem with Google. Because Google censors news and information, it's going to lead to speculation. Literally just that simple. What happens is I'm looking at all of the different states coming up with their own censorship program when it comes to news and disinformation because the United Nations says that that's what they're attacking, disinformation. So they're now going to control information. Anybody recall Skynet? The Terminator series? Anyone? Anyone? Sorry, I just looked up at one of my cameras and I can see Jupiter in our sky. Oh, that looks like Jupiter. Anyway, and the moon. Where are you at, moon? Oh, it's gone now. It was there. Big, huge, bright moon was there. Now it's gone because of the rotation of the earth. The other thing I wanted to talk about this early in the morning, I got to get up. I got to go file them suits. Registered mail, nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, registered mail, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. And so, oh no, the registered mail is about $30 a letter. That's not a big deal. It's the filing fees and all that other junk associated with it. And then the serving of all the parties. All of them! Whew, one of them has like 80 parties. Now that's something else, ain't it? It's okay. There's a workaround with it. Then I gotta deal with another court. I'll wait till Monday to deal with them. I don't feel like dealing with anybody over the next couple of days. Next couple of days, I'm going to take a break. Whew, been a lot of work just focusing on these lawsuits. Then I got to start working on the remainder documents for our Fourth Amendment Securing One's Property program and start updating everybody on that. So we got that going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to take this time this early in the morning to go ahead and finish discussing some things because I'm sorry that many of you just don't have the fight in you. I'm sorry that many of you are not tenacious. Ladies and gentlemen, if it was my home, I'd be doing everything in my power. And I would not just let somebody walk up to me and take something because they went through a so-called legal process. Look, I have a person right now, they went to bankruptcy court and the bankruptcy court just removed the stay. Now, I want you to understand, when the person told me that, I'm not nobody's fool. I said, okay, what didn't you do? Huh? What didn't you do? What are you talking about? There is a reason he lifted the stay, because you failed to do something. So what did he say you did not complete? Well, because they said I didn't turn in this and I didn't turn in that. So now you need to turn it in and ask him for a reconsideration. Sorry. People call me after they failed to do something and they run into a problem. So now they want me to clean up the mess. This happens all the time, ladies and gentlemen. I tell people, hey, this is what you need to do. Now you need to do your own research. It's a consult. I'm not here to do your legal work. I'm not your attorney. I am not here to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. No, I'm not here for that. Lord have mercy. That's why it is so distressing to see people going through things, because they are their own worst enemy. Look, here's the way it works. And it only works this way because this is the only way it can work. When you have, pay attention, when you have a situation where you have to do certain things, such as turn in some paperwork, you don't know what paperwork you got to turn in. I have a judge right now who dismissed the case because he said I did not comply with his order. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing this for too long. I don't fill out their forms on purpose. You saw me do the video yesterday showing you guys how I do amended forms. I don't need to fill out your stupid form. There's no law saying I have to fill out your form. Law just says that I have to substantially comply with the requirements that are on those stupid forms. That's why I can do a generic form. That's why I know they're out there. Because it's only basic information that needs to be on certain forms. I don't care if it's called a cover letter. I know what a cover letter needs to include. The majority of the information, a lot of the information doesn't apply. Well, anyway, when the judge said that, I wrote him back and said, "You out of your mind. If you take a look at blah, 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 you'll see that it incorporates that information." Then he says that I failed to substantially comply with the requirement, and he dismissed the case. So I'm filing a lawsuit against him. That's one of the ones that I just processed. I'm not appealing the case. I'm going after that idiot. He's been on a bench for 2 years. He was an attorney. And this is in the state of Washington. This idiot, the attorney, became a judge. That means he was elected. That means he's bonded. I asked him for his bond information. See, I'm not dealing with appeals anymore. Why would I appeal it? If he legitimately followed the law, then no problem. But what's been happening, ladies and gentlemen, is every single case that I have filed in the last year doesn't even get to a hearing. Get denied hearings, get denied everything. They just dismiss the case. Take the money, dismiss the case. I'm tired. So I'm going after the judges. They're not immune. I'm going after the judges. No, it's okay because they're going to block that too, and I understand that. But I need them to block these petitions. That's why I have to sacrifice the funds. And that's not the easiest thing. Oh, by the way, our DAP people and our auto people, someone hacked one of our bank accounts, took about $10,000, which has really hampered and slowed things up. And I've also slowed things up by completing these lawsuits, which has been really lengthy and long. But especially the DAP individuals. You guys are being added to the suit. I'm going to talk about the DAP, fall into the DAP. DAP stands for, pay attention, the Debt Acknowledgement Program. DAP, Debt Acknowledgement Program. Our DAP people, Debt Acknowledgement Program, the way the program works is on behalf of our clients, we're acknowledging the debt. Yeah, the debt exists. Man, Lord have mercy. Oh, okay, no, no, hold on now, homie. We're going to fill out some paperwork because the law says this paperwork should have been filled out, and we don't think you did your part, so we're going to do it for you, and we're going to process it. There you go. Problem solved. We're going to correct the error. We're going to accept the debt. Oh, then we're going to document the fact that the Federal Reserve Act said that they received their monies. Yeah, the Federal Reserve Act says we did our job. We gave them the promissory note, which was the collateral security, and the tender. Okay, so it was the eligible paper, which constituted payment because they accepted it, because it was a tender offer or offer of tender. Go back and look at Section 2 of the 16th section. Paragraph 2 of the 16th section of the Federal Reserve Act. So Federal Reserve Act, Section 16, Paragraph 2 says it's a tender and it's an offer. It's a tender offer. Look up the definition for tender offer. Tender is payment. It's an offer of payment, and they accepted it, and they did not timely dishonor it or refuse it. And the law says, Paragraph 2 of the Section 16 of the Federal Reserve Act, said they got to give it to the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Got to. Cannot do anything else with it if they want to get paid. So because they got to give it to the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, once they receive it, according to Paragraph 4, Section 16 of the Federal Reserve Act, have to give them Federal Reserve notes on the borrower's behalf. And then we got Federal Reserve Operating Circular number 10, Appendix number 3, the, what is it called? OC-10 form? OC-10, Operating Circular 10 form. They have to pay attention. Request the Federal Reserve to issue Federal Reserve notes on the borrower's behalf. So because they had to do these things, we presume they got paid. Well, if they got paid on our behalf. That means we received monies. Well, we got to document that on our taxes. That's a capital gain. You better believe it. Well, the law says we get to give them the total credit of that capital gain. And there's a form that allows us to use it as a receipt once it is processed. Que sera, sera. Que sera, que sera. Whatever it will be, that's how it is. So once we process that paperwork, we also take care of the debt because they claim that there's an outstanding debt when they've already gotten paid. Sorry, you can't do that. So since you said we're indebted to you when we're not, you're now indebted to us for that full amount that you claimed we owed you. Plus, you're indebted to us for the amount that you received that you never applied to the account. Oh, wait, that's a lot of tax credit, y'all. Once you guys understand IRS Tax Topic 453 and you really get it, that one-page document, once you understand it and understand exactly what it applies to, what it means, none of you guys will ever be broke again. None of you will ever be afraid about taxes. It's all right to be a non-taxpayer, but there's a mechanism already in place to make you a non-taxpayer, but still you're filing paperwork. You are not the taxpayer. Your corporation is. That's why you need to get a sole proprietor EIN. Let that corporation be the taxpayer. You continue to be a non-taxpayer under your social, but let the sole proprietor, that business, because the sole proprietor is not the same as the taxpayer. Pay attention. Sole proprietor is not the same as the taxpayer. That's why you get a sole proprietor EIN number. That's a corporation, people. When you don't get the EIN number, then yeah, you're liable. Sorry. That's just what it is. But when you have the EIN number, that shows that that's a corporation separate from you. Separate EIN. Go after that EIN number. Go ahead and go after that EIN number. You do the same thing the government agencies do and the other corporations do. Just switch EIN numbers later. Go after that EIN number, then you declare bankruptcy on that EIN. It's not your social security number. Well, it's a sole proprietorship. You better believe it's a sole proprietorship, but that's a separate and distinct corporation. It has its own separate EIN number. It's not my social. That is a separate EIN number given to me by the IRS because that's their process. So as long as they gave a separate EIN number, that indicates a separate entity, you ignorant mother. Whew, Lord have mercy. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's very difficult to explain all this because people want to know the details of how you get to these conclusions, and I can't tell you all the details of how you get to these conclusions. You have to go and understand the information. This is years of going through this and going through that and all of these pieces coming together. When you put all of these pieces together, I was talking with a young man. He received 18 tickets. Whew. The young man listened to Jonah Bay, and he proceeded to say certain things in the court. And Jonah Bay give a shout out to that young man and credit to that young man because it worked. He took that information, combined it with some things that I said, and all the tickets got dismissed. He's still going after them for the stupidity. The officer, it was all filmed when the officer gave him 18 tickets. Ladies and gentlemen, that's retaliation. There's no justification for 18 tickets on one traffic stop. That means that he gave the same ticket twice. He just worded it different. Now, that's the problem. In California, you can have burglary, robbery, and theft. All three things, for the most part, indicating the same thing, but under a different statute, under the code. And that's all the officer did. He just found another code to have him in violation of. Ladies and gentlemen, that's double jeopardy. Well, no, because you're using a stupid code. Congress was not authorized to write codes. Go ahead, look at every legislature. It's called the legislative process. It's how laws are passed, not codes. Don't care. You can call it whatever you want. It's still a code. Assembly bills and Senate bills sent to the governor becomes law. But in California, they have the penal code that they made part of the Constitution. No, sorry, you can't do that. Sorry. The people didn't make it part of the Constitution. The legislator made it part of the Constitution. That's what they did after the original Constitution. They came in with the secondary Constitution so they could do exactly that, so that they could write these codes. But now the code has gone berserk. So how do you go after them? The legislature is a corporation. Doesn't matter what they write. None of the codes that they're writing are lawful. Okay? It's not a lawful process. Just that simple. But you have to understand how corporations, remember how I told you corporations are separate entities? The EIN number is a separate entity from the original counterpart. Once you start understanding that, and then you understand that they're comprehensive annual financial reports, all inclusive, notes, ledgers, term definitions, and references, it proves that they are private corporations. Well, the government in the United States cannot be private. It has to be public. So they cannot be privately owned. And because the EIN references a private corporation and it represents ownership, they are privately owned. Well, they're not government. Now, how do you prove this? Well, you simply demand a trial. And you demand a hearing. And then you demand they put their finances on the record. They're going to object. Whoo, doggy, they're going to be objecting. Sorry, I have a right to this. I'm challenging their jurisdiction. I'm challenging the jurisdiction from the very beginning. When you walk into a court and they call your name, excuse me, who are you looking for? Oh, okay. What's your jurisdiction? I'm challenging your jurisdiction. No, shut up. I just said I'm challenging your jurisdiction. You don't get to exercise no authority until you prove you got jurisdiction. You know the law and you know the rules. They can say whatever they want to after that, ladies and gentlemen. Do you guys not understand? That's what happened in a case here in California. Yeah. I had to go through 2.5 years. That's why I get to go after him now. The first thing I did was challenge his stupid jurisdiction. And then I remained silent. Now, I'm not telling you to remain silent. I was doing that to prove a point. Okay, from that point, you can say whatever you want, because once you challenge jurisdiction and they don't prove it, it's called the forbidden fruit doctrine. Everything they do after that doesn't matter. Once jurisdiction is challenged, it must be proved. That is a maxim. Okay? I challenge jurisdiction, and I challenge the appeals court's jurisdiction. Do you understand? That's why they are not letting me into their courts, and I'm still challenging their jurisdiction. Jurisdiction must be challenged right off the bat. Hey, officer, how you doing? Oh, no. Before we get started, I have to challenge your jurisdiction. Okay? No. The law says I have to. So, what's your jurisdiction? Okay, you have proof of that jurisdiction. Don't show me no badge, because that's not proof of anything. Anybody can make that stuff, especially with all this new fangled electronic stuff and fabrication. So, what's proof you got jurisdiction? Oh, you don't have no proof? Huh. You know, the law says without proof of jurisdiction, you can't do nothing. Okay. Well, no, you go right ahead. It's called the forbidden fruit doctrine. Yeah. So, yeah, man, whatever you say. You want me to do that, this, that? Oh, please, there you go. Go ahead. Oh, no. See, at this point, once you ask me to do all that other stuff, you want to say I'm free to go. I was free to go the moment you couldn't prove jurisdiction. No, what's happening is that you're not free to go. No. You now need to give me your bond information, because I'm going to be filing a claim against you and your bond. Oh, now you want to nut up. Okay. No, hold on. Like I said, I'm not here to argue with you. That supervisor, the one that you have to call when I make such a request. So I'll sit here patiently and wait for that supervisor. Oh, no, you don't understand. The moment I asked you for your supervisor, I just took things out of your hands. That's right. See, I just appealed your decision. And until your supervisor gets here and makes a determination here in front of me where I get to see him, speak to him, and explain to him my situation, then you don't have no jurisdiction to do anything any further. So I will sit here and wait for your supervisor. Okay, tell him to hurry up now, because I ain't got all day. Supreme Court says a certain amount of time. It's ticking. So I'll wait for that supervisor. That's how you play the game with them, ladies and gentlemen. Now remember, if you're going to play the game, don't be upset if they commit a foul. But remember, every time somebody commits a foul, there's a penalty. Okay? So charge them for it. Police officer pulls you over, give the police department a fee assessment. If they're going to take your time, then charge them for it. Send them the bill. Then when you send them a bill, do a 1099 so you get the tax credits, people. And if you've already gone through something with them, and remember the Trazevant case, Trazevant versus the city of Tampa, that was a jury trial. That went all the way. And it was deemed legal. Jury trial, where they determined for 23 minutes he deserved over $100,000. 23 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, it equates to $1.6 million per hour. They just did the math, y'all. They just did the math. And when they did the math, it just worked out. Because that case doesn't set the standard. Hey, sorry. Do you know that? Pay attention. There are some people who, like executives, earn $100,000 every minute. There are some people out there, billionaires, who earn $1 million an hour. No joke. There's some people who earn $10 million an hour. I'm literally saying no joke. So it's what's reasonable. Well, who gets to determine what's reasonable? Well, technically, you do. And I do say technically, because you can't be unreasonable. You can't say 100 quadrillion billion bazookin dollars. You can't do that. That doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. But you get to determine that. Look, many of you want people to work with you, help you figure things out, tell you how to do things. That can't happen. I can't tell you how to work this stuff out, and I can't tell you how to do it. Why? Because you won't be able to stand on your own square, your own 2 feet when the time comes. And then you're going to be like, but he told me I could do this. Because every time I talk to people, they'll tell me who they spoke with and told them they could do something. So you're not going to get me to tell you how to do something. I'm going to tell you what you can do. When it comes to filling out forms and documents, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, I am not going to tell you how to fill out no stupid form. I'm going to tell you what certain things might mean on that form, but I'm going to tell you to go do your own research, go do your own homework. Why? Because I loves you and I was trying to protect you. Okay? Because if I told you how to do it and you did it and you didn't know what you were doing, well, there are doors that close, keys that go in the locks, locks that lock, handcuffs come off, and they tell you, see you in the morning. You get 3 square meals in a cot. All right, go sit down and shut up. Okay, I'm trying to spare you from that. Okay, just that simple. I am trying to spare you from that. All right, I gotta get up from here. It's 4:13 in the morning. 4:13, y'all. 4:13 in the morning. I gotta get this day started. This is my day. Went to sleep after 9, and I woke up this morning at 2. So not that bad. It could have been better. Okay, it could have been better. But let's just say, because I got these suits out of the way, I'll be able to go to sleep tonight, take my sleeping pill, and sleep pretty sound tonight. A lot of things are going on today. That's why I'm having to get up this early. I'm getting ready to take care of some things that I need to take care of. And it's going to be interesting. And I promise you it's going to be interesting. All right. Y'all have a good day. We shall talk, okay? Take care, everyone. Goodbye. You know, we should go out of here with my girl. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go out of here with my girl because she wants to let y'all know about her body and soul. Anita, let them know. We're going to go there. All right. She ain't standing alone at nobody's show. She know we there for her. That's our girl. That's Anita Baker. Y'all take care. I see. I said take care because I'm about to sing the song. Tell them, Anita, what do you got to do? Gotta go, y'all. Bye bye.